So I just finished making the Nimbus 2001 and I wanted to cut some wood. So I thought I would take a shot at making a two-tone inlaid shadow box for fun. I figured I could whip this out in a few hours and it's a great way to spend a Saturday in the garage. So let me show you how I pulled this off. I took a piece of scrap wood and thought that that would be the best depth for attaching and sanding. It was approximately 3/16. I used the same scrap piece to set the height of my dado blades. In setting my fence, I just eyeballed it. I knew that I wanted 2 stripes, so I cut the first one high enough to have room for the second one below it. Run all your pieces through at once, and like always, I arrange all my pieces in the same orientation so I don't have to think about it once the saw is on. Then go back, readjust your fence, and make your second pass on all your pieces. Once again, I just eyeballed it here. There was really no measuring. I just spaced them to what I thought would look good. I grabbed some black oak and some mahogany to see what I thought would look better. In the end, the mahogany won out. So turning the board on its side, I wanted to ensure it was wide enough, so I measured the board and then my groove again. I would cut this board on its side to get more out of it. So taking that measurement, I set my bandsaw fence to the width of my dado cuts. This would allow me to make this cut once instead of multiple times after each strip was cut. I ripped the piece. If done correctly, the width of the top portion of this board after cut should now fit all your dado grooves, and you can go check this on your side pieces. After I ripped the board, it seemed to have some irregularities, and because I was too lazy to pull out the planer for this little piece, I would just run it through the table saw just to tighten everything up a bit. Here I show you what I mean about saying that once your piece is cut, it should fit all your dado cut grooves. If not, tighten the piece up before you cut it into its individual strips. The strips after cut will be too small to manage if they don't fit properly. We will cut each piece the depth of the dado groove cuts. If nothing has changed, that should still be around 3/16 of an inch, but I discount double check anyway. Set your fence to the measurement and rip the board into as many pieces as you can. I use the bandsaw here to save wood. You can do this on the table saw, but you would waste so much wood with each pass because of the width of your blade that you would probably have needed to start with 2 pieces. Take your wood glue and place a single bead in each groove. After you have done that, simply set each mahogany inlay into its groove. I have a rubber mallet for the ones that are a really tight fit. I just tap them in. Once they are all in, simply wipe away any glue that has squeezed out. To make sure they have a strong bond and keep contact to the back of each groove, I turn them on to each other where the stripes are in contact, and I take a few clamps and tighten them down. I will let them sit for about an hour before I begin to sand. After I take them back apart, I grab a flathead screwdriver and scrape off any excess glue that has squeezed out. The main reason I do this is to keep it out of my sandpaper. Glue gunks up your sandpaper and it makes it worthless, and of course it'll give you more work. It'll take twice as long to sand these objects. By now you're probably thinking that I could have cut my corners together at the same time with the sides and the inlays already set. You are correct, you can do it that way, but you know me, I make this up as I go along and I just did not happen to do it that way. So take your pieces to the miter saw and trim the inlay even with your corners. So even doing it this way, your corners still look great and the inlay looks fantastic. Now I just need to sand them. I still use the same sanding techniques as in all my sanding jobs. First I start with 60 grit, then 100, and I finish up with smooth 220. I don't need to make you watch me sand. My last step is a beveled edge. So I take the pieces to the router and use that old-fashioned 3/8 roundover bit for that classy look. If you needed the steps prior to the inlay or to see how to finish after the inlay, check out any of the many other shadowbox videos that I have posted. Again, thanks for watching, and hit that thumbs up button if you like the way this one turned out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.